Hello guys, and welcome to my 2B2T exploration video. In today's video we're just going to be telling some random stories from my high school. So this is basically random stupid crap that I've done when I was in high school. I thought like that would be pretty nice, and if you like this story, I will tell just random stories, stupid stories in general about me. Like until I basically either we get like the video's too long, or I run out of stories. So yeah, that's basically what's gonna happen. So my high school had a lot of stupid stories. Like, say my high school was a really crappy high school. Like really crappy. It was like very low budget. There was a lot of like people that like just misbehaved and didn't do as they were told. It was messy. It was horrible. And oh, a village. Basically, a lot of bad stuff could happen in it. Like I remember one time we had a guy who was standing outside our high school, and he offered to tie my shoes once, because I never knew how to tie my shoes at one point. And he'd offered to tie my shoes at one point, but what he did is, the guy sold Haribos that had illegal substances in them at the school gate, and it took them a week to actually get him arrested. Like, the school knew about him, but didn't get him arrested until like a week. And this guy was just selling Haribos filled with, well, I'm sure you can use your imagination. A certain plant, a garden weed, if you may. It was gummies, edibles, yes. So yeah, he was selling them. And there's nothing wrong with edibles, but don't sell them to kids. Like, come on now. Sell them to me. But yeah, there's this guy literally just standing outside the gate selling bloody edibles, and the bloody like school did nothing about it because they didn't have enough evidence, even though a teacher saw him doing it. So yeah, pretty funny. But yeah, that's not even the only like stupid thing like that happened once. There was this one time a group of students, and you may remember that one of these girls from one of my last stories. It was one of the girls from the feminist story that glued her hands to the other girl's hand. Yeah, well, she and a group of other people were buying crushed up paracetamol because they thought it was Coca-Cola. That is code for an illegal substance. And yes, they thought it was Coca-Cola, and they were smelling it, and yeah, they got us on the newspaper for it. So yeah, pretty funny. And no, I'm not going to tell you what newspaper because I don't want to get tracked down. But yeah, and that's not the there's a lot of stupid things. Like, let's think of something different that doesn't involve illegal substances. Oh, one time when I was in PE, like, you know how like when you're doing like either softball, if you're in Scotland it's called softball, if you're in America it's called baseball, but we were doing softball and we had these big metal baseball bats, and you know how the baseball bats you get are usually rock solid, and they tell you not to stand behind someone who's swinging a baseball bat. Well, this little shy like girl didn't listen, and this big 5'5" boy was about to swing, you know, to hit the softball, and this little shy, delicate as ever looking girl was standing right behind him, and when he swung, oh my god, she took it like a champ. Like, Jesus, like he'd hit her, and she slapped to the ground, and she literally whimpered a little bit, like, you know, like I don't want to be like pure horrible, but like kind of like a dog does. And then she stood up and just stood there holding her head, and it never even bled. Like, Jesus, she's tough. She never even cried. Like, she just got like cracked with a metal baseball bat and just took it like it was nothing. I was impressed, I have to say. I could never take a hit like that. But yeah, there was this like one time that this is a bit of a shorter story, not really a story, but this boy was throwing bottles into the bin, and see, like in Scotland, see if you're in high school and you're above 16, and you get like you push the fire alarm when there's no fire. For every fire truck that arrives, you have to pay £500 in like debt or taxes. And this boy like was throwing bottles at the bin, and he accidentally hit the fire alarm with like a half full bottle. I had to pay £1,000 for 2 fire trucks. Like, how much of a twat do you have to be? And our high school also used to like say that oh, we're poor and we can't afford pencils, so don't waste pencils. But not long after that, when they said that, they bought these metal badges for everyone, and they were all £1 each. Like, this high school spent £1 for every single student, and it was over 1,000 students, I'm pretty sure. And they spent like £1 each on these little badges for students. Just to, like, they said, oh, you have to wear these badges everywhere you go in the school. If you don't wear them, there'll be severe consequences. My badge ended up in a plant pot in like the first few hours actually, and everyone else's badges ended up getting thrown away. The only people who wore their badges were the goody two shoes that didn't want to upset the teachers. Here's a more funny story. We had this teacher, and we found out what his first name was, so we all started calling him by his first name. And he's like, not appropriate, guys, not appropriate. But like, at first he was just saying not appropriate, but as time went on, he started getting more and more annoyed, like, that we were doing it. And my friend did like we were making these programs, and our friend had made a program, and he was gonna make it like so it failed, and he was gonna make the guy fix it. And when the guy fixed it, it would say hello, then his name. And this is when he was getting really annoyed with the names. And he was like, "Alright, well, let's fix your program," because like the guy asked him if his program's fixed. And he fixed the program, and then it came up saying hello. And he said to the boy, "What does this say?" And he went, "It says hello, and then your name." And then he said his name, and the teacher started screaming at him, like actual screaming at him. And what's funny is the guy who had been screaming at him said, "That's not appropriate. You shouldn't say my name in class. It's so disrespectful." And then see later that day, the teacher, see, because his room got painted, he ended up getting high off the fumes of paint, and he passed out and had to go to like the hospital because he was an old guy and he ended up getting high off paint. So yeah, very acceptable to do in school, even though it was an accident. Oh god, my school was a bloody riot. There was also this girl who, I don't know why she decided this, but no one really liked her because she was a bit like weird. She was like one of those girls that would try and cast a spell on you or something. And one day, this is what really made her like, well, before this I go into our main story that made her disliked. There was one thing she did, like when there was tons of people just talking and that, she came over like in front of a whole group of people and started rolling about in a puddle of muddy water, and she just rolled about in it for like a solid 5 minutes and then just walked away like nothing had happened. She was a bit strange. Like, I didn't bully her or anything, I just left her alone. Like, I don't mess with crazy people most of the time. And yeah, she was a bit crazy. And go away. I'm waiting for my friend to message me. And yeah, she was a bit of a weird person. And like, one thing she did is she brought fleas into the school. 1 minute. Yeah, she brought fleas. Oh wait, there's a bloody portal here. She brought fleas into the school, and school had to get closed because of fleas. Yeah, girl had bought, like, I don't know how the hell she caught them. I think her dog had fleas or something, and she managed to get the fleas off the dog into a jar. I still don't know how you catch fleas because they're tiny. and yeah, there was just fleas in school. People were getting like flea bites and stuff like that. They had to fumigate the entire school. So yeah, pretty stupid. And it was not the only time we had bugs. Apparently we had rats at one point because the whole like someone had left mouldy food in the home ec. It wasn't me. I remember one time in home ec that I left this food in class and it was like something I didn't like. It was like quiche or something like that we'd made. And bloody what was it again? I'd left the quiche there and I forgot about it. And I ended up leaving it there for 2 weeks. And soon I came back, there was a big white bit of fluff growing out of it. Like it was like the weirdest looking fungus ever. It looked like hair. It was pure nasty. It was stinking as well. I did the only thing I knew how to and put it in the bin. That was the floor. So yeah, hairy quiche. Ugh. I don't know how that happens. I think it's because it was like in a really warm room. And it was like condensation in that might have caused that. Trying to think of something else now. My mind goes blank so much. What else have I done? Ah yes, this is more of a just stupid thing, but like our high school who also like basically said, oh we have no money. One thing they did was they built a new dance studio. They had no money, but they built an entire dance studio. And the funny thing is, no one used it. Like they said, oh, you're allowed to like ask for permission and you can go in there and practice dancing. Not a single person ever practiced dancing, and it was a big waste of money. Like they only did dancing once a year for high school, so like it was a pure waste of money. And the dancing was only done in first and second year, so it was a complete colossal like just waste. And apparently they had no money. There was one time I walked into a trophy case and the whole thing came off the wall. Like I was in the office and there was like this trophy case, and I was standing like in front of it, and I went to turn around and see because it was sticking out of the wall a bit. I just walked right into it and the whole thing just came off the wall. Good thing I never had to pay for it. Like they did, like the school was like, how? Well, not a school, but like some of the office staff were like, Jesus, your head is like tough if you take down a whole trophy case. I was like, yeah, there's not much in there. It's just empty. It was quite funny. Oh, there's an ender chest over here. Oh, a base. Oh, cool. The first base I've found since I got hacks. Alright, we're going to stop stories now because I want to explore this. So there's going to be no chest. You know what? I'm going to take some of these end port chests. I won't take that one over there. I'll leave at least something for somebody. But I want these chests. These chests be mine. Free obsidian. If whoever owns this base ever sees this video, leave a comment please. Would like to see who owned this base. It was definitely a nice base before it got blown to bits. Nice stone base. Oh well. Nothing lasts forever. Oh man. What time we at? 14 minutes? Can go in our 2 minutes or so. Let's see if there's anything else over here. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Oh well, if you enjoyed that video, please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. May Larry's chin be with you, and yeah, peace.